Welcome back, everyone. Hope you guys didn't forget about us, cause it might seem like we forgot about y'all, but promise you, we did. No, we definitely did. Uh, just a lot of stuff going on, man. I mean, I feel like I say this like the same thing every time, but promise. Hey, promise is a big. I mean, I don't know how you feel about promises, but promise is a big word to say right now. So
Yeah.
we promise that we're gonna get back onto regular schedule. Back to our filming Mondays, uploading first thing Tuesday. And I mean, there's a lot to talk about. It may be a lot of downtime for other sports. I mean, but hockey just ended for us, sadly. I mean, NBA Finals, for fuck's sake. Holy shit. We're going to have a lot to talk about that right now.
Yep.
We got a lot of soccer coming up for our soccer fans. Um, can't wait to get that rolling. But yeah, if you guys have made it and you guys are at the right spot, this is Austin Ollie, a sports podcast presented to you by Bailey of Sports.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. Feels good to be back. Back like we never
Yeah.
left. I know we talked about it a lot. We've just been busy.
Yeah, man.
Life goes on, life goes on.
Yeah.
But it feels good to be back, trying to get back in the swing of things and kind of get back into getting more on a consistent, regular schedule, which I think
Yeah.
not only in the podcast world, but just like regular life, we've been trying to do that too.
Mhm.
So it feels good to be back, man. Kind of get back on a my regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, I feel like for both of us, it just seems like it's been a lot of stuff has been going on in between the last
Yeah,
episode and this one. Just
yeah,
in general, like I still feel like I'm still somehow trying to get back into my like regular routine because of
yeah,
like
for sure.
Memorial Day. I was out for basically a week for work and like a lot of shit. I don't know. There's a lot of shit. It sounds
Yeah.
like a bunch of excuses, but yes, they are excuses. But
This
hey,
is what it
I mean,
is.
yeah, it is what it is. Life happens. I mean, if we're getting paid to do this, if this was our full time job,
Yeah,
I'd
we
say
be on
kick
here.
that shit to the side, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck a house, fuck a job, fuck
That's how it is.
bills. But yeah, I mean, hopefully that's the ideal goal eventually. But
Yeah.
hey, I mean, we're here now. We're doing it because we're passionate about what
The love
our
of the
side
game,
gigs
baby.
for the love of the
The love of
game.
the game.
For the love of the game, exactly. But yeah, guys, we have socials. I mean, if you're listening to us on the podcast, on wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, you name it, Austin Holly Sports Podcast. You'll listen to us.
Yep.
If you're seeing our sexy faces,
Yes,
a
sir.
terrible jersey selection by your man Austin
Okay,
Already.
bro. No, no, no,
I'm
no, no.
repping. I mean, we're both repping navy blue, but I'm repping Mavericks. He's repping shit, basically.
Spurs,
Um,
baby. Come on.
yeah, so if you're watching us, our beautiful faces on the YouTube, I mean, appreciate you guys. You guys have been killing it, not gonna lie, last couple of times.
Yep.
So consistency will hopefully help us out there. Instagram, Austin underscore and underscore Ollie. TikTok,
Yep.
Austin Ollie all together. And Twitter, Austin is the underscore and underscore Ollie.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
same
Austin
thing as
underscore
Instagram.
and underscore Ollie.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we're definitely gonna be
now that
more
we're back,
active.
now that we're
Yeah.
back, we're gonna be posting. We're gonna be getting
Yeah,
back into it.
I'm feeling. I don't know what it is. I'm just feeling motivated. You know, it's beginning of
That's
June.
what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know what it
Yeah, you
is. It
started
just feels
running
like I'm
today.
motivated.
I'm getting back into
I
the
just
gym.
like
Hopefully, you know,
I
I've been
mean, today was the
bullshitting.
first day. Today was the first day I actually like woke up and went to the gym, and it's
Yeah,
been at least a month and a half, which is crazy. So it
yeah,
feels good, bro. It feels
yeah. It
good
feels
to kind
good.
of get
Like I'm
back in a
saying, like I'm
routine.
gonna be making. I want to be making like videos like every single day. Like I'm gonna, like slots and times for this
Woo!
shit.
Come on
I hope
now.
I'm hoping backing this up because now it's on record now. So
It's
I
on
gotta
record.
back this
I'm
shit
gonna
up.
hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you
I
to
gotta
it.
back
You're the
this shit
video
up.
guy.
So
You're the video guy. I'm gonna
I
hold you
know. It's
to
on
it.
me. It's on me. I'm looking at the scores table. That's on me. That's a foul right there. I'm about to foul
Yeah.
out. I'm about to foul out. So I have to be careful.
No, bro. No, no.
But yeah, we're
But
talking about foul now. Let's get to some NBA, yeah?
yeah,
Because your
yeah. I'm down,
fucking
baby. I'm
Mavericks
down.
are Western Conference Finals champions. Like we're
Champs, baby.
ain't done yet though.
It looks
Gotta be
good.
done.
It looks good. So obviously, right, Mavs set up Western Conference champs, setting up a matchup against the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, which is
Yep.
cool for Big Larry O'Brien. Just a little overall path of the Mavericks, how they got here. Obviously, we had originally started doing game recaps back in the day. Clearly, just has kind of fell to the wayside. But we're back. Mavs, obviously, right. They're the 5 seed, get Oklahoma City, or not Oklahoma City, the LA Clippers in the first round, the 4 seed, end up taking care of them in 6, which is nice. Kind of felt like I don't know. I didn't really feel like that series was ever really in doubt. I don't know. You can
Mm-hmm.
kind of prove me wrong. I mean, obviously, right, losing game one kind of hurts. Kind of game two was close, but we looked pretty damn good. I think the Mavs looked good. Luka started getting a little banged up, which was a little worrisome, but that's okay. Round two, Western Conference semis, get Oklahoma City the one seed, which is crazy, right? Young team, but get blown out in game one by 22.
Yep.
And just Luka, it looks, I mean, he looked so slow. He looked banged up, just
Yeah.
hurt. And then it feels like after we lost what was that, game four to tie the series 2-2, Luka just like felt like he just came back and was just like rested, recovered, looked a lot better. Ended up taking care of them in 6 games also. The one seed, I mean, what was they, 57, 58 wins, something like that this year.
Yeah.
Um, and then we get, I think this is honestly was the ideal path that I think that we had talked about with having Minnesota in the Western Conference semis. 3 seed had 57, 56 wins, something of that nature. Number one defensive team in the NBA, handled them in 4 games. And really, we probably should have swept. We really probably had a chance to sweep.
Yeah.
But we looked, we're looking pretty fucking good, dude. The
Yeah. I
Mavs look
mean,
pretty fucking good.
this is. I mean, we talked about it. We had our expectations or what we expected. What was being a disappointment. Um, I think we kind of both mutually agreed that we wanted just
I think a
like
one
win one
round.
round. Yeah, win one
Yeah,
round, and after that, like, I mean,
everything else
realistically,
funny.
this still is a young team, and like just in
Yeah,
general and like their
yeah,
experience together. I mean, Luca, Kyrie, Barry's second season. Your new additions
yep.
with Derek Lively has been fucking massive for you in this playoffs and this whole
Oh my
season.
gosh, yeah.
We'll talk to him. We'll talk about him for sure. Gafford and
I
PJ.
mean,
I mean,
we
half a
played with them
season
for
with y'all,
half a season.
half a
Yeah,
season with you
20
guys,
something
and then
games.
yeah, it's just like a lot, and like this team is still so young. Like no one really has to get a
Contributing
contract
wise,
paid
yeah.
for. Yeah, exactly.
I think
Um,
the only player we got to pay is Derek Jones Jr. this summer. That's the only
oh
one that
yeah,
we got to pay.
and he's coming back for sure with whatever we gotta
Yeah,
pay him. He's coming back.
yep.
Um, but I mean, realistically, like I don't want to say we should. I mean, technically, I mean everything was against us. You were
Yeah,
favored a little bit in the Clippers series. You kind of were favored there because of the whole Kawhi situation.
yep.
I mean, a full healthy Kawhi, do you win that series? I don't know. I mean, you probably push it to 7, but you
But
can
what's
say the same
crazy
thing
is the
about
games that,
Luca being fully healthy
yeah.
too.
And what's crazy is the game that we won was we didn't win a game until Kawhi played. He didn't play in
Yeah,
game one, but he
yeah,
played game two, and we beat him in game two. So,
hmm
I mean, it is again right. He wasn't fully healthy. He was probably a little rusty,
yeah,
so on and so forth, right? So
yeah. I
that
mean,
does that is a
yeah,
question mark.
it comes to the sports and just aspect of it. Doesn't make sense. Like, you want your best players on the court.
Yep,
I'm
yep,
sure you can look
absolutely.
in there and sometimes be like, the Luca haters out there, that it's still crazy to me that there's still Luca haters right now. With
Yeah,
just the way he plays, it can just be like, oh, like the Mavericks would be such a way better team if they didn't have Luca because he's such a ball hog, this and that. I mean, but like, come on,
crazy.
realistically, come on, this is yeah.
It's crazy.
And then you go to OKC. Um, I mean, I want to formally apologize to everyone that follows me on Twitter. I said that the series was over after we lost that game. Was
Was it game
it
four?
game 4? I think. I mean, we haven't won a game 4, correct? Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah. We still haven't won game four.
So
We're
we haven't
0
won any game
3.
4s in the
Yeah.
postseason. But yeah, I thought it was over just because I think it was that game that we shot like what
Oh, we shot
52%
bad.
from free throws. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
bad.
was in a dark mode. I was just wasn't thinking. I was just throwing everything out there. I should have sat there and just kind of ugh.
Yeah,
But yeah,
52.2%.
yeah, exactly. So I thought the season was over. I just was like, you know what? We had our time in OKC. I mean, and give Shea his flowers. Like he's an absolute crazy ball player. Even though
Yeah,
we clown him for the free throws. I mean, the whole NBA Twitter clowns him
yeah.
on the free throw situation, which is true. But I mean, he's a bucket. Anything anywhere around the paint, mid
He
range, he's a
like it
bucket.
was it would piss me off whenever all the commentators would say it, but he like he just plays smooth. He plays like
Yeah,
at his own at his pace. Like doesn't feel like he's ever forcing anything. Like everything just
mm,
looks clean. I
yeah.
wouldn't say he's like an elite like 3-point shooter. That's probably the
Oh no. Hmm.
biggest detriment to his game. But like, I mean, he's a good defensive player. He's good in the mid range, can get to the rim, shoots free throws well.
Yeah.
I think that ultimately, like, he's a stud. But people also, were crowning him as the best young player in the NBA. when Luka's younger than him
Yeah,
and clearly a better player. So
it's insane to me.
it's
Yeah.
it's crazy that people forget how young Luka actually is. You know, obviously Derek Lively is just turned 20. PJ's the same age as like PJ Washington played college basketball with Shea. They're both one
Mm,
and dones at Kentucky. Daniel Gafford is the same age. I think he's 25, 26 maybe. Like all of our key contributors are just now entering their prime, and they're
yeah.
locked up on multiple year contracts too. So um, I think that there's nothing you can do but give props to how this team has kind of been constructed, and it's kind of
Mm.
worked out. And so yeah, man, it's nice. And then I'm glad that we don't have to listen to that like what a pro wants, what a pro needs commercial. That it
Oh,
was
that was
just
comedy. I love that. I think the
yeah,
Mavericks right afterwards, after that series ended, they posted a TikTok with that audio.
yeah.
Um, and at first, like I saw it and I was like, okay, but then like, I totally forgot that that was a commercial running around with
And,
Shy and
did you notice? Did you
yeah.
notice that it stopped as soon as they got eliminated?
Oh yeah,
And like it
easily.
wasn't. You never saw it again. Never saw it again as soon as they
Yeah.
got eliminated.
Oh, that's funny, man. And I mean, OKC is gonna be good for a while,
Yeah,
and
they'll
they
be
could
good.
easily get better, not by blowing the team up or anything. But I mean, they have all these draft competitions. They
Yeah,
can do whatever they want. Go out and
and I
get
think they
someone, trade for
probably
someone. Yeah.
and they'll probably get rid of Josh Giddey too. Is kind of
Oh,
what the rumors are looking like.
he became unplayable. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
It's very crazy how a player like I'm not gonna lie, I'd lie if I didn't have thoughts about that. Like this is the way I think. I mean, if you guys are listeners, fluent listeners, and you guys listen to me be pessimistic, I think bad a lot about things. And when I was seeing Luca like just kind of like play the way he plays, and in my head I was like, what if one day he just like falls off? Like what if one day he's just bad? Like he just can't do it. Like I don't know. Like I was thinking like that, but then every day he seems to fucking like amaze me and
it's
just do
just
even
yeah,
better
it's
than
unbelievable.
before. But yeah, I just like think about how like there's people that literally just completely fall off. Not that Giddy was like an amazing player, but definitely like a
He
somewhat
wasn't
all star,
bad.
you could say. The way he just plays, he was a triple double guy, but he was averaging like 12 and like barely scraping assists, like 10 in the rebound
Yeah.
situation. But it became to the point in playoffs where he was unplayable,
Yep.
and it's like that. It's insane. Like he just wasn't creative anywhere in the offense. They let him shoot. They let him have a space on the three ball. Let him shoot. Occasionally hit it. And another guy that kind of became unplayable was Cat, and he wasn't
Yeah,
closing
and it
out
was
series. He's like closing out the last couple minutes in the Nuggets series, and also became a problem here too in
yeah.
Dallas.
Well, and like even and it's kind of weird how it varies by matchup too, because
Hmm.
I think that like in the Oklahoma City series, like Daniel Gafford was horrible. Like he
Oh yeah,
looked absolutely atrocious. But when you get paired up against a team that plays a little bit more through bigs, where he's not going to be asked to defend in space on the perimeter, I mean, he was unbelievable, and it kind of is, it kind of helped, or is I guess a little bit different too because Derek Lively got hurt, so he was asked to kind of take a little bit more of a bigger role because it was either that or we're going to play Dwight Powell, which that wasn't necessarily what we wanted to do. But yeah, I mean, I think that ultimately you saw that we had like the Timberwolves going back to your point, right? The Timberwolves ended up closing out with Nas Reed
yeah,
and Rudy Gobert, and I mean, fucking Luka did his thing all over Rudy Gobert. So
yeah.
um,
It was, and they rode the hot hand.
yeah,
Almost just like I mean any sport you ride the hot hand, and it was Nas Reed that
Nas Reed looked
was
fucking
it game
amazing that whole.
was that what game was that? I think it was game 3 that he
It
popped
was
off.
game.
It was the first
It
home
was game
game
two.
or game 2.
Uh, yeah, game two because we that
Okay,
was
yeah.
the game where Nas Reed went crazy and then Luka hit the buzzer beater at the
Yeah,
end of the
okay.
game.
Yeah, that's when I was stuck at the airport all day watching that damn game.
Yeah,
Yeah, Naz Reid,
seven
hate
to
the
nine.
guy. Yeah, hate the
Yeah.
guy for a lot of
I
reasons.
I like Nas Reed. He's a good player, bro.
No,
He's a
I
good
know, but
player.
I know he is. I know. I mean, I'm a certified hater too. But
Yeah,
when it comes to this, it's one how I don't know how real this was, but Minnesota fans were getting his name tatted on them.
that is real. That is
That
real.
yeah. So I saw an old lady with wrinkles on herself. Like
Yeah, yeah.
she should not be getting yatted on. She could die. Like that's probably the last thing she ever did. I haven't seen any updates on her, so she probably died. Um, but that and just his ugly ass jump shot. I'm sorry, like there's no way you're that fluent and like can knock down threes and just like emotion like he does. So
And what's crazy,
yeah,
he was a
him and Kyle
40 a
Anderson.
41.5% 3-point shooter this year on 5 attempts a game. which is, I mean, and he's a 6'9" center.
And
Like,
I mean, he can bring the ball up too. I mean, I think he was a point in
yeah,
high school. I saw
yeah, I
some
believe it.
videos, some highlights of him of like him just like, I think they called him Jelly, Big Jelly. I
Yeah,
forgot. Yeah,
yeah. His nickname is Big Jelly.
there you go. He was. Oh yeah, I could definitely get that. But yeah, another
Unreal
guy that I
player.
absolutely hate now in the Timberwolves is also Cal Anderson with that
Yeah,
ugly ass jump shot of his where he like
I
lies
didn't
and
realize how
shoots.
bad it was. I didn't realize how bad it was.
If I could get him on a like just one on one, just one question, I just have. I mean, there's so many questions I want to ask him. Just like, who the fuck
How
taught
did
you that shit? What made you think that that was gonna make you a better shooter?
how do you even
Um,
get that shot?
I don't know. Like, imagine pulling up to your LA Fitness and you see a guy shooting like that.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that there was a really distinct change in the way that the Mavs have played in the last, probably the last series, where I think that if you were to ask me in the Clipper series, like, can the Mavs legitimately win the NBA Finals? I would have said no.
Yeah.
But as this team kind of evolved, as for sure as Luca got healthy, and I don't even want to say he's 100%, but like in the Timberwolves series, especially in the closeout game, like Luca just looked like he's just thrives off of any sort of like negative talk towards
Yeah.
him from the other team or from their
Hmm.
fans. And that reasoning alone gives me a lot of hope for this Boston series because
Ooh.
I'm not saying that Boston, the players specifically, talk a lot of shit,
Oh, the
but
fans. Yeah.
Boston, the city, talks a lot of shit. And there's just so I think I saw something today that Luca is the best performing star in playoffs in history in terms of points per game and his net rating change between being on the road and being at home. And
Hmm.
I want to say that he's averaging, I think it's like 30 something, maybe 32 points a game, and his net rating increases by 4 points per 100 possessions when he's on the road versus when he's at home. And it's
God
because he
damn.
just thrives off of those big moments, thrives
Yeah.
off of like fans like calling him a crybaby, and he's gonna sit there and who's crying, motherfucker, like straight to their face. Like he just loves it. Like
Oh, God.
that's just who he
Yeah.
is. I think as a competitor, and it's pretty fucking sweet to have him on our team.
No, yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, we mentioned a lot of times, like we were former athletes. I mean, sometimes like there's players that you know that thrive off that shit talking, can back up their shit talking, and
Yep.
Luca's definitely one of those guys that just kind of like, yeah, tell me I'm shit, I'm gonna show you, you know.
Yeah,
There's even
and
like a
he's
whole
like,
like subreddit on Minnesota where they're like, hey guys, let's not boo Luca, let's not talk
yep,
trash. Like he's known to prove that he does better under these circumstances. They were trying to stop it, and it happened early in the game where that guy in a fucking suit sitting courtside was
yep.
telling him to cry. That was probably his first ever like NBA game. But he's just got money or he's got a company that has tickets and he's the reason why his team is sitting at home and probably last game he ever
Yeah,
attends. So
yeah. It's yeah, man. It's exciting. So I guess pivoting to away from how the Mavs got there, we can talk a little bit about the Celtics.
yeah,
Obviously, matching up,
those bums.
Celtics were far from it, I guess. They were the number one overall seed in the NBA, went 64-18,
Yeah,
which is
yeah, yeah.
best in the NBA by 6 games, something like that. First round, they played Miami Heat, the 8 seed, ended up winning in five. Miami scored over 100 one time, really over 94 one time, and that was when they won game two. But a little asterisk beside that because they weren't healthy. I mean, they didn't
Yeah.
have Jimmy Butler, so there's that. Um, Second series, they played the Cleveland Cavaliers, also 1-5. Held Cleveland to under 103 times. Game four, they held Cleveland to 102 in a win, and then they lost game two, um, and Cleveland scored 118. But surprise, surprise, there also is an asterisk by this one because I want to say Donovan Mitchell was hurt,
Yeah.
Jared Allen was hurt, and who else was hurt? There's somebody else hurt. Evan Mobley, I think. No, not Evan Mobley. Darius Garland was hurt. So three guys hurt. Probably three of their best four players. So interesting to say the least. Uh, or Eastern Conference Finals. They ended up sweeping Indiana. I don't know. That's a weird series to me because realistically, Indiana should have been up 3-1.
Yeah.
I think 3 of those games Indiana should have won. For sure, game 1, that went to OT. They had the lead and then blew it. But also, another fun fact about this series is Tyrese Halliburton banged up.
Yeah.
Who else was banged up? Was it Pascal Siakam or somebody else was banged up? So 3 series. Everybody's had a banged up player that they've had to go against. And just, I don't know. The East isn't really East really isn't shit, too. So there's that.
Nothing new.
But, I don't know, man. The Celtics, I don't really know how to preview the series because the Celtics are good. They're first in offensive rating in the NBA, third in defensive rating in the NBA, first in net rating in the NBA. They got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that have been all-stars in their career. 5, I guess, depending on if you count Derek White. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a challenge. I don't think it's gonna be easy by any means, but I don't know. I may just have a silly confidence. That could be the fact, but
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't think I'm scared of anybody on the Celtics. They don't. I don't feel like they have a killer. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Jason Tatum's a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but he's not, to me, he doesn't instill fear in other teams like Luka Doncic does. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
I think
Absolutely
even Kyrie to a certain extent too.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah. I mean, Boston. I mean, to even be here again is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think we're playing with house money
for
at
us
this
to be
point.
talking basketball in June. But I mean, that's a dumbass excuse. You can't use like we shouldn't be here, this and that. I mean, you have the team capable of it. I don't think it's impossible. It's just if everyone's gonna be executing what they're supposed to be, playing defense. I mean, I think this is the best thing though for Luka was to finish that. I mean, you wish you would have swept. You could have had a couple of days before, but I mean, you still get I mean, you do it in 5. I mean, can't complain about 5 against that Minnesota team, and you get Luka on rest, like a lot of rest.
Well,
He's been playing
like
like
a week?
every other day. He's been playing every other day. His knee, his Achilles, his
back, right?
his back, everything was on the fucking injury report for that guy. And he said, I mean, if this was a regular season game, yeah, I'm sitting out. But he's like, no, I'm playing. So, I mean, I think there was like 1 or 2 games where he slacked off a little bit, but I mean, if you're Boston, you should be scared. I mean, you have Luka after a week's rest. Boston is completely healthy. I mean, it looks like Porzingis is going to be back. I hope someone
Another
goes in
guy
and
I'm not
just
scared about.
clips
I'm
the
not scared of
fucking
him.
he's got no dog in him. If anything, I think the only person that really's got dog in them on that team is I'll give it to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a dog.
Yeah,
I think he's got it in him. Just send him to his left, and he's gonna be a little puppy, so it'll be fine. Send his ass back to the books. But no, I mean, I like this matchup. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I mean, I think it just in general, you want a good series, and that's what you're gonna get. For some reason, I just feel like they don't really have size on us, but they are a good rebounding team. And,
yeah, I mean, Kristaps is 7'2". Kristaps is 7'2". Al Horford's 6'9", but he's old. He doesn't really move well. Yeah. Jason Tatum's 6'8".
He gets
Jaylen Brown's only 6'6". Derek White's 6'4". Drew Holiday 6'4". Peyton Pritchard 6'1". Yeah, so I mean that's probably their 7-man rotation right there, pretty much.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to your bench eventually. I mean, it's gonna come down to your secondary guys. Your stars are gonna get the points. Luka's gonna get the points. Tatum's gonna get the points. Jaylen Brown's gonna get the points. It's gonna be Derek White. And I don't want to put Kyrie up there getting his points because, I mean, he did start getting his points at the end of that Minnesota series, but he went on a super slow start where he was passing the rock around, passing the dish, like at least 8 assists, which is, I mean, lovely. You were winning games, but you want him to be able to be confident on his shot. It's not even that he goes out and like just misses. It's literally just him not deciding to shoot him going on ISO and then decides to pass it out to PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. for the three. But I just want him to be shooting. I mean, he can create his own space. Doesn't matter who's on him. He's gonna get his points. So I'm hoping he can get his points. If he can average at least 20.
I think if Kyrie can average 20 to 25, I think we're in a pretty
Oh
dangerous
yeah, I
spot.
mean yeah, exactly, yeah,
But 20, I think is on pace for
yeah.
what we
I
need
mean,
out of him.
and it might even come to you were talking about Daniel Gafford not really. I still think you haven't seen like his full potential that you saw during the season.
No, yeah, 100%.
So I'm hoping he can finally settle down, and it should help with Derek Lively. I mean, Derek Lively in the biggest stage. I mean, he didn't miss a single shot in the whole Western Conference Finals.
Wild.
So hopefully he can transfer that. I mean, and it's gonna come down to free throws too. Make your damn free throws. I hope they're just practicing free throws every single day. And for the Mavs, one more guy it's gonna be Jaden Hardy. I mean, he's taking the minutes of Tim Hardaway finally.
I love it. I'm so pumped for that.
He plays 8 to 10 minutes, but can easily get you 12 points. Easily. His first couple shots they always somehow set him up like for a play for an open three, and if he hits it, he's got the confidence of no other. So Jaden Hardy's definitely gonna be one of the guys that is gonna be a difference maker on this run.
Yeah, the last 4 games of the Western Conference Finals, he averaged almost 9 points a game, and
I'll take that any day.
Like 10-ish minutes a game, 10, 11 minutes a game.
Yeah,
almost a point a minute from
a
guy that's coming off the bench, and I mean it's not like it's inefficient either. I think he was shooting like 43%, 50%, 62.5%, 60%. Like,
yep,
he's hooping, he's playing good ball, and even in game 1 when he only scored 4 points, he still had 4 assists in 9 minutes. So I mean, he basically directly contributed at the minimum 12 points.
You can also play the lob too to any dunks. Yeah. I mean, we've seen that a couple times.
Yeah. So I think the big key in this series is going to be how are we going to match up on the defensive side. I think that they have enough ways that they can beat you. Whereas I think like Minnesota was a little bit one-sided with they had, their big men that could shoot between Cat and Naz Reid, and then they had Anthony Edwards that was going to get to the cup. And so we had a way that we could play defense on it, and we haven't really seen a team that like, okay, well, you want to sag off of, like, I mean, think about how many open shots that we let Kyle Anderson have, that we let Rudy Gobert have. Even going back to the Oklahoma City series, Josh Giddey, we would let him shoot anything he wanted to shoot because we didn't trust it. But like, if you leave Jaylen Brown, he can shoot. Jason Tatum can shoot. Derek White can shoot. Al Horford can shoot. Drew Holiday can shoot. They just have a lot of guys that can shoot the ball well. I mean, even going to Kristaps, right? Like, Kristaps does kind of put a little bit of a matchup problem on the perimeter with Daniel Gafford, I think. But I don't know. I still think that when it comes to it, I'm just still not scared of Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know.
I'm hoping he doesn't have a mini KP game. I mean, that one's gonna sting. It's gonna hurt.
Trust me, he's gonna get hurt in the first 10 minutes.
Especially in Dallas too. Like I
hope he gets booed. I can't.
Oh, he's definitely getting booed. He should be getting booed. I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad. I mean, he should be getting booed. Like he should be. But I mean, I feel like you played a different team. I mean, obviously you've played a different team, but style of play has been different almost every series for these guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, like size, like you were able to get out Gobert and be able to, attack him ISO or get stuff ready for you in the paint. It's been a lot tougher with this, Boston team, but you could also say something about Boston not playing anyone good just yet. I mean, they've lost,
they haven't
2 games?
They're 12-2 in the playoffs.
Yeah, insane. Also, they have experience on you. I mean, Jason Tatum's already been here before.
What's crazy is they also haven't played anybody above a 4 seed. And
that's the number 1 seed, yeah.
What, the 4 seed in the East was, how many games did they win?
I don't know. We would have been second place.
The Cavs won 48 games, so that's good for the 8 seed.
And we played 3 50-win teams.
Yeah, 57, 56, 51.
It's me exciting. I think it's really obviously. I mean, Boston, regardless of them being in the East, they're the better team. There's a reason why they're number one seed. The
Yeah.
reason why they were able to, take care of games. Only lose two. One of them were both at home.
They
I want to say they have one of the
lost.
worst home records in playoffs,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in the Tatum era.
They've lost the two games that they lost were both game two, and those would have been at home. They lost game two to Miami at home, and then game
Miami
two
and then
to
two to Cleveland.
and then Cleveland, which is kind of good. So expect a game one win from Boston, game two win from the Mavs, because the Mavs
Yeah,
never play well in game one. They play good in game two. So 1-1 going
yeah,
to Dallas. Let's go ahead and just call it that.
yeah. You just want to win your home games. Obviously, split one over there. You're hoping that Luka can teach Kyrie a little bit of like thriving off the hate. Because it's gonna be crazy hate on Kyrie. You think the
Yeah,
Mavs hate Porzingis. The Boston Kyrie hatred, it's insane. He knows it too.
yeah.
He owns
I
up
think
to
he's
how
ready
he was
for
just
it.
in a.
He's ready
Yeah,
for it
I
for
hope
sure.
he's mature enough. I just hope it's just not like any antics how he was in Brooklyn, which I highly doubt. He looks like he's
Nah.
matured a lot more. Um, but the best way to just shut them up is really just by winning games and scoring ridiculous
Agreed.
buckets on them. So
Agreed.
yeah.
All right, so last little bit about the Mavs. Go ahead and give me quick 30 seconds, your prediction on the series and why.
I like me a 7-game series. They're gonna go all the way. For NBA purposes, just because I think that what's the commissioner's name?
Adam Silver.
Adam Silver is gonna want 7. I don't want to say it's been a boring playoffs. If you've been watching Mavs games, it hasn't. So I'm gonna say 7, just make things interesting. And Luka is gonna be your Finals MVP, and the Mavs are gonna take it in 7.
Come on now. Come on now.
I have faith. This
Um,
is bad. I have faith and hope.
yeah.
This is bad.
I like. I think the Mavs are going to do it again. I think Mavs in 6. Mavs in 6 at home in Dallas. I think that this is the playoffs that Luka is cementing himself as taking the torch as the best player in the world. I think that
Yeah.
Dallas fans have known this
hmm
for the past, let's just say for sure this season, probably last 2 seasons, that we have felt like Luka's the best player in the world. But I think that now this is the one where mainstream media is realizing that Luka Doncic is the best player in the world, that he's that next level competitor, that the Mavs actually have a team assembled around him that basically accentuates his weaknesses and what he needs and just the shots that he can create from other people. And ultimately, I think this is a redemption story for Kyrie. This is a redemption story for Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington that were on teams that were at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Derek Lively's a great story. His mom just passed away, and he's like a 20-year-old rookie that's playing significant minutes. Dante Exum was playing in Europe last year. Derek Jones Jr. has never really lived up to, really much. Maxey hasn't really done anything. Jaden Hardy was, the first
Second
G
round
League
pick.
night,
Yeah.
second round pick, is growing into his own finally. I just think that this is the team that it's like the Texas Rangers last year. They just
Why not?
weren't
Yeah.
hot.
hmm
They weren't hot all season, but now it's like, why not? They're peaking at the right time. The Mavs, the Mavs are going to do it. So, Mavs in 6, that's what I like to hear. On my side, you got Mavs in 7. We'll revisit this as we're going. I'm sure at
Yeah.
one point both of us are going to say the series is over and the Mavs are going to lose. That we were
Yeah.
stupid for having hope. And hopefully eventually they turn it around and prove us wrong. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good stop to take a little break. I'm going to throw it to our sponsors because without them, we would not be here. So let's go ahead, take a quick 30-second break, and let you guys listen to our sponsors.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
And we are back. Thank you guys so much to our fantastic sponsors. Again, couldn't do it without them. So now that was Mavs talk. Big NBA Finals, big stuff going on. Is that Ollie that I see in the outfield? Are you out there? You ready to talk little Rangers, little baseball?
Hey, man. I know I'm small, but I can cover a lot of ground out there. Okay. I know you see me out here. It's a no-fly zone and all in the outfield. Man, it's been a while.
Okay.
I'm feeling kind of rusty. I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
Just like me, or just how the whole show has been, Austin and Ollie, just on and off. That is your Texas Rangers so far into the season. Roughly 60 games in. Today's the 60th game. They're currently down right now, but they have someone on second, so they can tie it.
Okay.
But it's at bat Tavares is 0-for-3 today. So
it just went final. It just went final.
Okay. Well, there you go. So now they are a 29-31. Oh, there's Miggy. If you guys are on the YouTube.
A little Miggy sighting.
Yep.
Miggy sighting.
But yeah, I mean, Rangers have just been consistent. We really haven't talked much about them. Won't spend too much time on them because it's so early in the season. It's just been, they got the case of the injuries. Case of the injuries.
So many people are hurt.
Your starting rotation is doing really well. You're worried about your pitching. And you have guys like, you had Dane Dunning step up last year. And this year you have...
Cody Bradford was stepping up.
Cody Bradford.
Was stepping up, and then he got hurt. And then, you have guys you try to give Jack Leiter a shot. And, as big of, Jack Leiter fans as at least me personally, I am. I think that ultimately, I hate to say it, maybe he's just not ready. Or maybe he's not it.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that happened. Starting pitching has been... That's what your worry was with, Scherzer starting in the IL, DeGrom in the IL, starting. Tyler Malley too. But that wasn't really the case. Your starting pitching was doing pretty well. It was holding you up. One goes down. John Gray is having a awesome year.
He's having a great season.
Yeah, great season. He's top 5 in ERA, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Goes down. And you got guys like Gabriel Gabriedos or some shit. He's some goofball.
They pulled this dude from the street.
You have to pull. You got to pull these guys of select their contract out of nowhere. You literally have no choice. To you have to I guess you want to say rush Jack Leiter, which he shows good stuff, which is a good thing. And he's still doing his thing in the minors, which is good that he's not being too hard on himself about it.
He did just get touched up his most recent start.
Oh.
I think he gave up 6.
Oh. It's okay. It's baseball. Think about it. There's plenty of times Nolan Ryan that happened to Nolan Ryan, DeGrom. It's okay. Josh Young, it looks like he's on the cusp of coming back. Nathaniel Lowe was coming back, and he was doing pretty good. You got guys like Josh Smith stepping up. If you just stay in contention around All-Star break, you can still hopefully get some trades going on because, again, the things you were worried about, your pitching, you got guys like George Kirby, or no, not George Kirby. Kirby Yates, my bad. You got guys like Kirby Yates. Yeah, no, I think George Kirby's the Mariners pitcher. Kirby Yates stepping up for you as your closer. He's absolute dogging, sub-1 ERA. You have
David Robinson.
David Robertson has been a great addition. He was a former Yankee, was with Miami the second half, I think. He's been good. Jose is trying to find his way back. He gave up a homer today, which he blew the hold, so he took the L today. Jonathan Hernandez has looked really, really good for you too. Heaney had a really good start yesterday. Finally, 6 innings with no runs given up. So it's really not your pitching. It's just been your offense has been terribly bad. You're just really, really bad. And again, your offense really hasn't been healthy. Corey Seager is finally on a tear. I think I had this down as 15-game hit streak. I think he has 16 now, up to 16.
Yeah.
It's the second longest of his career. Yeah, consecutive shutouts. I mean, when you took the Miami game, the Saturday Sunday game, you shut them out. It's the first time since 2016 that you do back-to-back shutouts. So that's 18 innings pitched without giving up anything, which is insane. Other nuggets that I have is, I kind of forgot that Robbie Grossman was back on the team. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really paid too much attention to the Rangers just because of
I haven't either.
The playoff situation, and just know that we're not playing really good ball right now. I mean, I've been to a couple games. Yeah. So Robbie Grossman, back in your Rangers lineup. But yeah, since there's 5 players in MLB since the start of 2023 that have a minimum of 150 plate appearances versus left-handed pitching. That's slash 300 average, 400 slugging, and 500 on base percentage. I think that's how it goes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Your players: Mookie Betts, runner-up for MVP, absolute dog for the Dodgers. William Contreras, catcher for the St. Louis Cardinals, I believe, or he's on the Brewers. One of those two.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay. Luis Rengifo, Angel player. Adley Rutschman, a very good catcher, young upcoming catcher, obviously. And nothing but, last but not least, Robbie Grossman, your DH outfielder, is absolutely raking against left-handed pitching. And so is Josh Smith. He's batting like over 300 against left-handed pitchers, which is kind of impressive. Not him being a lefty, as you hear the sigh of Austin, because I mean we all love Josh Smith. We all love us some Josh Smith.
FJS.
And some other things that I started seeing. So I noticed that Nathaniel Lowe wasn't starting last game, which is I was just kind of confused because he's your everyday first baseman. But it looks like he's just been struggling against left-handed pitching. So I mean, you have Zeke, your favorite player over there, Austin, Zeke, that can play really absolutely anywhere. He showed off his rocket, his arm. I don't know if you saw that. He's got a cannon of an arm.
You're rocket watching?
Yeah, I am. He threw a rocket, man. He threw a rocket in the outfield, man. He got a couple outfield assists. They're playing him at first right now, just for platoon service, like just platoon circumstances of playing against a left-handed pitcher. So that's been happening around for your Rangers. And also, a funny thing, I mean, I don't know if you noticed this, but Bruce Bochy wasn't actually at the game today.
Yeah.
It was a scheduled family matter or something like that. So Will Venable was in place for him today. And supposedly it was still like win or loss was still going to Bruce Bochy, regardless, even if he wasn't there. So I mean, just hoping everything's all right with him. And another funny thing that I saw today. Well, so today was Bark at the Park, I think is what it's called.
It was Bark at the Park today.
So, and you didn't take Miggy, so you're terrible.
Oh, we had to film a podcast.
Oh, priorities. I forgot. We're getting locked in. No, but the funny thing is, like, they do fireworks for every home run.
Yeah.
So since there's dogs, they don't do fireworks, actually.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, supposedly, I don't know if this was true or not, but like supposedly I think they were like playing like doorbell noises, so like, the dogs would bark. So that's funny. I mean, I would definitely, when I thought about it, I would have blow them bitches up, and dogs would have been probably like crying.
Yeah,
so
they would be freaking.
Yeah, because Marcus Semien opened up the bottom of the first inning with a leadoff home run. So
and that was the lone bright spot of the entire game.
It was early too. But Nathan Eovaldi got back today. He pitched pretty damn well. Just gave up one homer. He went 5 2/3, I think.
Yep.
5 2/3. Yeah, he no walks, so he was absolutely dogging it up there. So, I mean, your team's getting back to health. I mean, Corey Seager had a very slow start to the season for missing spring training. So yeah, I mean, it's looking in the right direction. They're gonna have a really tough June, is what I was talking about with Austin, prior to start the recording. So they gotta take advantage of these games in Detroit, which they already dropped one. Can't win all of them. I mean, you played a really good pitcher in Skubal, where it's like another top 5 ERA guy. He went out there and gave up only 1 run for however many innings. I think 6 probably. So yeah, you can't win all of them. You got 2 games, which you don't know who your starting pitchers are for tomorrow or the next. So That's just been the case with the Rangers. It's been injury after injury. Guys are stepping up. I mean, you're seeing random guys play every day. We'll focus more on you guys. So hopefully by the end of the NBA Finals, your Mavericks
Maybe they turn a corner.
Yeah, Mavericks are at full strength, or your Rangers are at full strength. Because the Dallas Stars, even though at full strength, cannot score a goal to save their life. So, yeah, I mean that's your Rangers update and all in the outfield.
The bad thing is the Rangers are kind of the only thing that we have going until the Cowboys start, and I don't want to talk about the Cowboys
until the what starts.
Yeah, yeah, we may shut down the podcast. We may not have anything to talk about this summer or fall.
We can find stuff to do. Don't worry.
Yeah,
There'll
we'll
be
just start
stuff
a
going
Premier
around.
League podcast. Premier League will come back full swing.
Yeah.
We'll just do that all day.
Exactly. Thank you. See, it's still football.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's all in the outfield. Some other big things going around the world. Obviously, both of us are soccer fans. Champions League final, if you keep up with that.
Yep.
That was this previous Saturday. Real Madrid beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0 in Wembley. Have any big thoughts on the game specifically? Because I watched it. I thought that Dortmund looked pretty good early on, and you would have thought that they would have had a chance. And
yeah, I mean,
it just kind of felt like
20 minutes in, it looks like Dortmund should have been crowned champions of Europe.
Yeah.
I knew it was too good to be true. I mean, Adeyemi has a chance, one-on-one with the goalie. Moment too big for him, you know. It was just... and then, I mean, there's a lot more chances that happen in that game, and then obviously Real Madrid get their 2 or 3 chances, and then... Yeah, Jude Bellingham that keeps disappearing in big games gets praised for all this crap of... I saw this thing, it's like going to Real Madrid and winning like your first Champions League is like losing your virginity to a prostitute, which is a very good description, very good comparison of what's going on. And then they signed Kylian Mbappe. That's another massive thing that's going around right now. I mean,
it's
the whole sports world is getting to know it. It's being compared to KD signing with the Warriors, and it's... Yeah, but it's almost just like LeBron in his prime joining the Warriors, kind of, where he was just tired of losing.
What's crazy is he's getting paid Tim Hardaway Jr. money.
Who?
Kylian Mbappe. He's making $15 million a season.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, he got a $100 million sign-on bonus, but I'm talking per season. He's making less than Tim Hardaway Jr. 15 a year.
I thought I seen it all with the Shohei contract, man.
Crazy.
I don't know. Football's dead, man. Football's dead. I hate it. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it.
I don't know, man.
Not gonna lie.
It's kind of disappointing. I thought it was a good game. I thought Ian Maatsen was a good player, the left back for Dortmund. Sabitzer I kind of felt like was kind of hooping too, and then like Adeyemi wasn't a good. Sancho had a good like Champions League run. He didn't do anything. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just the rich get richer with Real Madrid, and they have Mbappe coming, they have Endrick coming. They also like Chouamini's just sitting on their bench, didn't even play.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like they're unbelievable. And like Toni Kroos is retiring, and I don't really think it's a big deal to them, which is
no. I mean, I'm glad it was a competitive game. I was scared of like a 3-0 blowout. I mean, it was 2-0 at the end, but I mean, it was just.
I thought the first like 70 minutes, I think it was
very good football. Yeah, it was very good football from both ends. But then I was really talking about it beforehand. I was like, if I see Carvajal score a goal in the Champions League final, I'm gonna kill myself. Let alone a corner off a header.
Yeah.
The shortest guy on the corner wins a front post header.
Could have been you.
Could have been me.
Could have been you.
Could have been me. Could have been me. Could have been Chicha. It could have been anyone.
Yeah.
But, man, it's I'm just glad it was a good game. I mean, we all knew it was going to be Real Madrid. I mean, everyone was on the other side of Dortmund just for Roy's sake.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, it's tough. It sucks that, and then whoever gave up that pass to kind of just put the nail in the coffin, even more tough. And Royce was like right there to get the front POV of it. So yeah, I mean that's over for awaiting to see what's next.
Yeah, I think that goal by Vinny was kind of just the stat padding for the Ballon d'Or.
And he scuffed the fuck out of it too, bro. He hit the ground. It was terrible. I mean, goalie had a hands up. I mean he scored. Yeah, cool, but he just
It's like in the storyline, it's gonna be like he scored, a winning goal in
and
a
Jude got
Champions
the
League
assist
final.
too, and Jude got the assist too.
Yep, yep. And
So
it's just,
yeah,
it's not good for the Real Madrid
yeah. There was like a half and half with
media machine.
with Jude. Like I thought he didn't play that well. Like yeah, he had a lot of chances, so like he should have put those away. But
Yeah,
I mean, you see on Twitter like they were posting his stats, and it's like, oh my god, look at Jude's stats, and everyone's like, did we watch the same game? Like they're like, thank God I have
yeah.
eyeballs because if
It's
I
a
were just
stat,
reading this,
it's a stat watching versus the eye test.
the eye
He just
test,
it
yeah,
looked like he was just wasn't around. Like I don't know. I didn't feel like he was
yeah, I
like
really didn't
active
see
or
much
he
of him.
wasn't
The only
like
time was
dictating the game.
the chances he had. I mean the assist. I mean, yeah, you can't fuck that up, but yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's Champions League.
yeah.
Some last little minor things. Dallas sports. Stars obviously just went out in the Western Conference Finals of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sucks. They lose in six to Edmonton.
Yeah, losing 6.
Yeah. Losing six. They were up 2-0 in game five. Ended up losing 5-2, and that was the nail in the coffin, man. So that was tough. But hey,
Yeah.
neither of us are super big hockey fans, so I guess the life goes on.
Yeah,
I think
I
one
was
of
I
us
was
will
gonna start
close.
paying attention. I was gonna start paying attention
Yeah.
if they went to the Stanley Cup final. But hey,
Yeah.
America Airlines Center
I
gets a rest.
Yeah. I think you and I both would rather have the Mavs in it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I guess do you want to talk about this last point or no?
Yeah, we can briefly talk about it. I mean, everyone seems like they're
Yeah.
talking about the WNBA. So I mean,
Yeah.
hey, finally getting their flowers. Um,
Heard.
I just don't know why. I mean, all around and like they're all hating on Caitlin Clark. Like every single individual player
Yeah.
absolutely hates Caitlin Clark. Even though
I
the
think
reason they're getting
it's
all this
crazy.
attention is because of her. Even though I don't know if you saw Angel Reese's comment today, she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, she's not the only reason like that you guys are watching the WNBA. Like I'm here too." And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like it's not all about you, okay?
She can't hoop like Caitlin Clark can hoop.
Yeah, and I think they were cooking her. I think she was shooting like 20% from the field, and it's
And
like
she's a big man. She's a big man and she's shooting 25%.
I just hate how she like loved to make it about her, which like I get the aspect of like almost every single interview for any random player. I mean, I don't want to say random, but obviously I don't watch WNBA, but it's like Caitlin Clark this, Caitlin Clark that. Even if they don't play them, somehow she gets brought up into every single WNBA interview. I get the aspect of like, damn, like why do they keep asking me these damn questions about Caitlin Clark? But also like her getting like, if she was like a bitch on the court too, like I would understand.
Yeah.
But she doesn't seem like she like talks shit like that. I mean, she's on a shitty team. She really can't talk much. But like her getting like blind eye
That was crazy.
hit.
That
it's
was
like,
crazy.
for what? Like you don't even see that in the NBA.
Yeah. And
But-
it's kind of like I think that was a good point made. Like in the NBA, if something like that happens to a star player, you're gonna have somebody that's gonna come in and defend you, and it just like
Oh,
they
nothing
didn't
happened.
do anything.
Yeah, nothing
They
happened.
didn't do anything.
They said if that was Steph Curry and Draymond, oh god, oh, imagine
Yeah,
the scenes
it's
for that.
just- Yeah, man, I don't know. It sucks, and I think that like ultimately, like I think that the WNBA deserves the talk, deserves the talk, because it's not like it's like horrible basketball or anything like that. It's just
Mhm.
that obviously something with the rookie class is changing the perception of the WNBA when they're taking chartered flights now and they're starting to get paid more. They're getting better endorsement deals.
Mhm.
Maybe it's not purely because of this one player, but that doesn't mean that you have to like be a detriment to that one player and just constantly hating on that one player or constantly being like, oh, like just talking shit, taking cheap shots. Like it's bullshit. Like I think that you would want the whole league to prosper, and I think at that point it's people are just being haters. So what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
So I don't know. Maybe the Dallas Wings, our local WNBA team. Maybe we get out to a game, go check in.
I think they have a pretty good team.
I don't think they're bad. I think they have the leading scorer in the WNBA. I think it's like 26.5 points a game.
Yeah, it's the dog. They play at UTA. Yeah, why not? Why not go catch a game?
Go catch a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I think got any final thoughts or anything? You ready to wrap it up?
Let's do it, man. That's it.
So yeah, hey, well, it's a good first episode back. Feels nice to get back, kind of get in the flow of things. We're working out the kinks. Plan is right now to have a Thursday, or I guess it would be published on Friday, instant reaction to Game 1. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there and say that it's going to happen. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it work at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. It's good to be back. Hopefully you guys stick with us. Obviously, we're going to be a little bit better about posting stuff, putting stuff on Instagram, TikTok, social medias, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. But yeah, make sure you guys go check out our socials. Instagram and Twitter is at Austin_and_Ollie. TikTok is at AustinOllie, all one word. My Instagram and socials are in the show notes. Same with Ollie, same with Belly Up Sports, our grateful partner in all of this. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys next time, hopefully on Friday, for another episode of Austin Ollie, a sports podcast. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.